Speaking of they're not here and you changing your life, is there a switch in football players? Is there
There
like an
should
off and on switch from Sunday to Monday, or you know?
there should be because
Uh-huh.
you think about it. When you're angry, it takes a lot of energy to be angry. It
Mhm.
takes a lot of you. So when I put on the helmet, if you had a different color, I literally wanted to rip your head off. That's the way I thought. When I took off the helmet, everything's fine. I
Mhm.
have no problem against you. I don't dislike you. I don't hate you. Just it is what it is. And so I learned how to have that switch so I wasn't drained because I was never what I called a meathead. I was never one of those guys that would run through a locker to play a game, or put my head through a wall. I was never one of those guys. I was very analytical and I thought about things and I thought about steps and how to do things and how to beat people, and that's what the challenge for professional football or football in general was for me. The different ways that you can try to study a guy, learn how to beat him, to beat him, or to keep him from his objective, and while you are attaining yours. So I think there should be a switch. For some guys, it's not. Some guys are just always on that, and I think a lot of times those are the guys that burn out real early because you just can't. Your body just physically, in my opinion, can't keep it up for that long.
Mhm. Is should there be like an like a de-acceleration, like counseling or something with NFL football players? Something because the few NFL players that I know, like they're real aggressive and then they're the most normal person, but then you get these outlier scenarios where you got the currents up in Seattle, you got the Ray Rice incident. Is that more of
You
an
know,
outlier experience, or is that typical in the locker room and on Monday? Would you
well,
say?
it's not typical, but it's damn sure present because in my opinion, when we learned the game, we were told that crying is a sign of weakness. We were told that if you're hurt, you're soft. You were called all kinds of names to try to get the aggressive side out of you. Now, for me, my greatest stress reliever was playing football, was practicing, was hitting, because I was able to get my aggressions and frustrations out. If you didn't have that vent, then you were carrying around all this anger, all this, this fuel, this fire that's inside of you. Um, but the problem is that if we were to ever talk about our problems, we were considered weak,
Mhm.
soft. Just swallow it. Rub some dirt on it. Get back out there. That
Right.
that that's what it was. So there were a lot of times where I've seen guys that were pushed. I knew people were pushed. Heck, my first wife used to try to push my buttons because she came from an abusive relationship, and
Wow.
she equated physical abuse with love. So like if you love me, you'll hit me. And I witnessed the fight that broke up my mom and dad at a very early age when they got divorced, and I swore up and down I would never put my hands on a woman, and I never did. So, but I had to fight that urge because it came out. So I don't condone it. I don't say that but I understand why guys sometimes can't find that vent. And
Mhm.
it takes a man to humble himself before he can go and say, I need help
Got you.
because I'm frustrated. You know what I mean? And a lot of times athletes don't know how to do that. They don't know how to ask for help.
Got that. Got that. D'Lo Boxing just want to say what's up to Lincoln Kennedy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate. Uh,
Appreciate it.
how was the reconciliation with Napoleon Kaufman? Y'all linked back up in the Raider uniform. How was that?
Yeah, you know what? What it came to when I came over to the Raiders, Napoleon was there, and it was like we picked up like we were in college. Everything was good, and then Napoleon started making the transition to go into ministry,
Yes.
and I was always supportive of Napoleon, but there was I remember one time in specific we were having lunch together. He came up to the table and he sat down to me next to me and he was like, Big Link, do you know Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior? And I was like, looked at him and I was like, Napoleon. I said, with all due respect, we went to college together too. I know the other side of you, so don't try to rub off on me like this. But Napoleon's a good guy, and I'm certainly proud of him. He was doing a lot of great things when he was coaching at Bishop O'Dowd. His ministries are taking off. I think he's got a couple of churches, so he's spreading the word and spreading his message. And he really is a good guy and a good family man. So I'm definitely happy for him. But we had a great time together, some great years together.